It's indeed a pleasure to be here. I don't know, can you hear me? Okay. Yeah. I don't have any charts. In fact, I just happened to be here, meaning in Trivandrum, and somebody asked me whether can I give a talk. Let me give a little background about me. I'm from Kerala, from Kannur, or a small village, Cherugundu, and I studied in Kerala, went to Coimbatore, studied, then left for USA many, many years ago, in 1967. So 8 years or something. I have a PhD in astrodynamics. Then I joined NASA, JPL, worked on interplanetary missions. Then I joined the Department of Defense, and I could say I'm proud to be the primary architect of GPS, and I'm sure everybody uses that. And I believe that's my contribution to mankind. Then I used to travel a lot, so it's very hard for my family. So I quit the job, went to law school, became a lawyer. And then I started, of course, my own law practice, where I helped startups, many startups, and helping them in many areas, primarily in the raising capital, in mergers and acquisition, and intellectual property. That's the kind of area. And I participated in taking company public. And I thought myself, maybe I should help me, so I became an entrepreneur. And in my entrepreneur journey, I've worked on many companies. Obviously, as you know, many companies are failures, but you learned a lot. It's not a failure, it's a learning process. And I've taken 4 companies public, which is pretty successful. And one company is called stamps.com, and it has, eventually I sold it to a private equity company for $6.6 billion. And then another company which I actually started called InvestNet, and I brought the company here in Trivandrum, and now it's still there, but we sold it to another private equity, Bain Capital, for $4.5 billion. So those are 2 pretty good success events. Then I've taken a company public in London Stock Exchange, which we sold it to eventually to Sotheby's. It's a big, but not a lot of money, but it's a good event. And another one, I took a company public called SPAC. It's a special purpose acquisition company. And we merged with another company called Zoomcar. I don't know whether you know Zoomcar, but that's one in Bangalore. And they are not that great, but it's doing okay. It's surviving. Now I am involved in another company which I'm in the process of taking company public, which is called DRE Health. DRE stands for Dr. AI, DRAI. And I'm not going to talk about any of those things. I'm going to talk about what is success. When you raise money, is it all over? Raising money or raising capital is only a starting point. And once you do that, now the journey starts, real journey. The process itself, raising capital, you have heard all here, it's not an easy task. It's extremely difficult. I've raised over $1 billion. I mean, it's a lot of money, but in many steps. You start, one of the key points, as somebody said, you need to have the right network. The network is, in fact, there is a statement, network is better than net worth. So you create network and you never know when that network would help you. It would And you have to leverage it as much as possible. For example, when you want to go and give a pitch to a venture fund or any financial institution, the ideal way to do is not just blindly go. If you go blindly, they may come and listen to you, but they'll just not give that much importance. But talk to somebody. Meaning you know somebody who has got funding from that institution. And tell them, look, I am interested. And they call one of the persons in that, say that, okay, yeah, this person is going to come, at least listen to him. Now you have a better chance of getting funding. The reason is they will give more importance to you rather than blindly going there. So take advantage of here. A lot of VCs are coming. Make them friendly and ask them. They may not give you the funding. Then tell them, okay, can you refer me to somebody else? They know. So that may be an opportunity you should take care of. This is how I have done. I have done it many, many times, and it's only through the network. So network is extremely important. In fact, I just want to give you a couple of stories. Oh, by the way, I have written 5 books. My first book is called Autobiography of an Immigrant. That's kind of my life story. It's interesting. A lot of people read it. I get a lot of comments back. It's very good. The reason I'm saying whatever the story I'm going to tell, there is in that book, so you can, if you ever read it, you can get that. But then another book I have written called, it's really a good cookbook, almost like a cookbook for an entrepreneur. It's called Start Small, Dream Big. And that has a lot of people have said, it's helping the entrepreneurs. And it's more, not a theoretical stuff, it's practical stuff. I've gone through every step of those and how you can do it. It's actually, the book involves not only initial getting capital, how difficult it is, and also how you scale up, how you, of course, being successful, take the company public, and going the process is not easy, but can be done, because I've done it. An average person has done it, so anybody can do it. But it has to go through the steps. And then, in addition to that, of course, in the United States, there's a lot of tax, all kind of taxes. And one of the things when you create wealth is to try to you have to do everything legally, but you can do it and minimize your tax liabilities. So that talks about that also in that book. So how intergenerationally you can create wealth. So that's the whole of that Start Small, Dream book. Then I have written another book, which is called Life with AI. I'm a kind of an AI, I shouldn't say AI specialist, but I know quite a lot of AI before people know what is AI. We started, I've been, that's one good thing when you're old, you will know many things. I started on an AI in the almost early 70s, primarily because we were doing all kind of interesting things in the space programs, and the only way we can do, because it takes even time to send the signal. So we have to do it in real time. So you have to have a system on board. Autonomously, things have to be done. So that's what AI is all about. But anyway, so that book covers a very interesting aspect of what is AI, how it is changing life. And I made 3 predictions in the book. I don't know whether that is going to happen. But the first one is, there will be chaos coming in the next few years, because there will be a lot of jobs will be lost. There will be, in fact, you may see it here itself, and a lot of now the young graduates coming out of colleges, they have a hard time finding the right job because of the AI has already started playing that role. So that will happen, but eventually, after that 3 to 5 to 10 years, the chaos will go away and the new skill set will come and there will be growth. So I'm very optimistic on AI. Then second prediction is the AI will create significant market value to companies, all the companies. In fact, if you have any startup, if you don't have an AI, you're not going to be successful. So make sure AI is a natural, integral part of your mission. Whatever the entrepreneurship, any healthcare or fintech, or any manufacturing or transportation, it doesn't matter which field you're in, you have to have AI integrated into the system, without which you cannot be successful. But the value is it will create it will give you market value. It will be very, very successful. And the third prediction, even though people are making money, people meaning companies are making money, but it actually will transfer to the ordinary customers, population. The goods and services will become significantly cheaper. That's already started happening, but it will happen. So in fact, Elon Musk was interviewed recently, and he made a comment, in 10 to 15 years, nobody need to work. Everything will be free. I don't totally agree with him, but he's predicted that, there was an interview by, I think it's Kapil, somebody interviewed him, an Indian person, and he was telling, look, in 10 to 15 years, people will have nothing to do. You don't need to do anything. But I don't think that is 100% true. However, there is going to be significant reduction in cost of goods and services. So those three things are, but anyway, that's my Life with AI book. Then there is another kind of a book I wrote called Looking Back, which is basically a travelogue, because I travel so many places, and how the traveling has kind of made me a better person. So that's more of it's not that, it's a lot of pictures, a lot of places. I've traveled over 100 countries, so obviously it has a lot to it. But then it came last, in fact, about a week or two back, and this is an interesting book. It's called The Power of Laziness. The Power of Laziness is the changes that has happened to human condition is because of people want to be lazy, and that make it more creative and innovative. In fact, the business school should start telling not to work hard, work smart. So that transition, so that's that. So the reason I'm suggesting that, so it may be interesting to look at it, and you may want to adopt from a business point of view, that people should not be, maybe there are certain companies will say, oh, you have to come every day and spend 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day. But that's not what people should do. People should be given them the freedom to innovate, freedom to create. So that's one of the things all the entrepreneurs should be thinking about from a business point of view. Now, coming back to the scaling up of business, I think there are two aspects one should do it together. One, you should start organically grow, meaning you have every company has basically product or services. In product or services, you have to acquire the customer, you have to increase the revenue, so that should be done organically. It has to grow, but you may add new products, new features and things like that. That's all organic growth. But at the same time, you should have a parallel process of looking at potential business combinations. An M&A path should be there. So one should have a pipeline of M&A opportunity. The way I would do, instead of paying and buying the companies, just give them equity. because they also want to grow. So a combination. For example, I had an interesting experience. This is some years back. I was in Paris on a business travel. So I went to a bar, and the person, a much younger person, was sitting next to me. So we just happened to say hi, because we have nothing else to do. And I asked him, "Where are you from?" He said he's from a place called Thousand Oaks. And Thousand Oaks happened to be the place I was living, in Westlake Village. It's in California. And I said, "Really? Oh, I'm from also there." So immediately we became friends, close. So I asked him, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, I'm just in the middle of a little confusion. I'm traveling." Then he asked me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm working for the DOD and doing things and things like that." And he said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "What's your problem?" "Oh, I have now quite a bit of money, and I don't know what to do with it." I said, "How did you get the money?" Oh, he said, what do you do?" He said, "Oh, I am a trash collector." Trash collector meaning, I don't know what people do here, but in the United States, most of the trash collection is done by mom and pop businesses. That they will have 2 or 3 trucks, and they go and, each house and take the trash and put it in the trash. And so what happened? I have about 3 trucks, but then I sold my company to, it's called waste management. Waste management is it's a roll-up strategy. They actually bought these companies for equity, and that waste management public. And when they went public, all these so-called trash collection mom and pop companies which sold to them became extremely successful. So for example, he sold it for like around $3 to $5 million, equity. And when it went public, it went to $30 to $40 million. So suddenly he has too much money and he doesn't know what to do. The reason I'm suggesting this is that gave me a thought. So this combination at the right time would be very valuable. I've done it. I've brought in M&A in many of both this stamps or InvestNet. The success really is through acquisition, not on cash, actual equity, and that has helped us because it's almost like 2 plus 2 become 5 or even 22. So something I strongly recommend that in your once you raise the money and done, but you have to start think big or dream big and execute on it to get to the next stage. And this parallel path, organic growth and the so-called M&A path, so should not be overlooked. And one more aspect I want to kind of communicate, you should leverage debt. The debt is very important. People think, oh, debt is not, it's a bad name. No, you can raise capital. You may need more capital needed. You can continue to do for investment. But when you raise capital, as you know, you're diluting yourself. There will be, people want equity. And whenever you give equity, you dilute. But debt is, no, because you're paying through interest. But there is a cost of it. And there are 2 types of debt I always, recommend. One is called the account receivable debt, meaning you will have revenue coming, but not in cash. It will take 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and sometimes 120 days before you get the cash. But you need the cash to use it, so you will have a financial kind of a institution, and they will lend you, because it is a money coming in. You already performed, but money hasn't got in. So you should take advantage of it, and that's extremely important because you now have cash. So cash is for regular operation plus investing in growth. And similarly, there is another type of debt called purchase order debt. purchase order is somebody purchasing product from you. Of course, you haven't performed yet. In order to perform, you need cash. So purchase order debt is sometimes difficult to financial institutions are not that generous. But if the purchase order is from a very big company, like in the US, if you have Apple or Facebook or Google or Amazon is your customer, then the purchase order, because they don't worry about you, they know that there's a big company. So, I mean, something we should start developing the purchase order debt as a source of potentially adding, capital to you. So, the reason I'm suggesting the startup mission is doing, and people are, going and getting the family and friends, or the angel fund, or VC fund, or private equity fund. But the whole process is, good to have, but you should, at the same time, try to get money without dilution, which is by borrowing from. And, once you have the track record, and once you start, like, for example, borrow 100,000 initially, and then it'll become $1 million, because you have already paid, and that people will just give you additional. So leveraging debt is an excellent type of thing. So the two things. Once you initially get the funds, don't say that, okay, now I've done it. The idea is to go to the next level of, my suggestion would be, this is the dream big. Take company public. That's the step you should go for. However, if there is a right opportunity for an acquisition company comes and buy you out, don't walk away from it. But I would rather, unless the price is right. But my recommendation is try for a public, exit strategy. It's not easy, but it can be if you have the confidence and some kind of a motivation to accomplish this. So that kind of gives you the topic I was supposed to talk about is raising capital is not the important thing. What do you do next? The next is to scale up and obviously have a successful exit. And the successful exit is, in my opinion, it's an IPO rather than selling it to a private equity or selling it to another company. So anyway, anybody has a question or anything, I'll be happy to. So I just want to limit my talk. Thanks again.
So I'm Soja. I'm from Cubust. I'm an analytic relations manager. My question is, so which vocation of yours did you enjoy most? Was it the astronomer, or is it the startup raising and getting into public, or is it the writing book? Which one do you enjoy most?
I see. As a matter of fact, personally I have two principles I have. One is I only do things what I like. And the second thing is whatever I do should help somebody else. So in every aspect I do those two things. It's meaning raising capital, it's a tough job. It's however, without raising capital I cannot have a company. People are depending upon salaries and expenses. So that I enjoy. Taking company public, it's an exit strategy where in fact I would say in my personal case, I've created over 1,000 millionaires. It's not a joke, it's a true statement. In fact, there are many millionaires in Trivandrum because of my starting the company. And yeah, I enjoy doing it. Enjoy meaning it's something it's an accomplishment it's nice. So I do only, I enjoy, otherwise I don't do it.
Thank you.
If no questions, thanks again.